Welcome everyone to Center of Light Radio. Center of Light Bliss out. I'm going to put some background sounds on, some ohm. If you're listening to me tonight through a sound system, the ground is shaking, isn't it? I live by a train station. There's always freight coming in and out. So it's a low rumble, so let's put some low conscious rumble behind it. How about some ohm, which is one of my favorites? And maybe one of the reasons you feel so blissful every time you walk away from Center of Light Radio is because this ohm chanting I'm putting behind my presentation is designed to remove negative blocks. So not only are you getting information, my love for you, from me, we have something else happening. Are you aware of that something else? I bring your attention to the music, you hear the music. When I get to talking, you give me your attention, but the music is still there, but we're not focused on it. But it is creating an amazing support. So I just got a new video card. Eden Sky, are you with me? Can you hear me? He's trying to be quiet because he knows his daddy is doing a presentation. I was hoping he would respond. So I just bought a new video card because I kept seeing my Facebook not even moving. So it was going out and everything is on point. It's popping like a sophomore cheerleader. What do I mean by that? They're full of vigor, they're full of fire, they're ready to go, they're pumping, they're jumping. So my video card, as I see it on Facebook, is popping. I'm loving it. I love technology. I'm so excited right now. Hence tonight's presentation, Center of Light Bliss. Do you want to be happy? So I guess it's my mission to go over the top. One moment. I got to do something. So it's my mission to get sophomore cheerleader giddy, happy. I'm being dramatic, but I mean it sincerely. So I'm going to do what I can to fall into my innocence, my just goofing off and playing around, but still be serious, because a child having fun may be goofing around, but they are very serious about their goofing around and very sincere. So tonight's presentation is Center of Light Bliss. Do you want to be happy? I do. I want more of it. In fact, tonight, everyone.
Access granted. Access granted.
Everyone has access. Exemption, none. Everyone. Do you want to be happy? It's a really simple question. Out of all the presentations I've ever done, we can call it Jesus, we can call it all this stuff, this and that, this and that. And what are all those thises and that's? Are all of those are to get us to where? To be happy. Jesus is present in my life. I'm a Christian. Why is Jesus your Lord as a Christian? Because the answer is you want to be happy. Would that be a true statement? So the reason you follow Jesus and in your Christian values is because ultimately you want to be happy. Tonight's presentation is Center of Light Bliss. Do you want to be happy? So you follow Jesus because you want eternal happiness. The reason you do that thing that you do is because you want happiness. So no matter what the spiritual lesson, no matter the denomination, no matter the doctrine, the creed, talk, walk, code, or sect, what you really want is happiness. as to why anyone would do a certain something or some things, or even if you're a Buddhist monk or a serious spiritual aspirant and you want to meditate, you want to do a no thing or a nothing to fall into the infinite sea of possibility in meditation, God, if you will, is because you ultimately, eternally want to be simply happy. Right now, I'm going through lots of changes. 2020, I'm on fire now. 2020 is going to bring me lots of shifts. I just posted a bunch of links in this forum. I deserve to post those links to my work. I am asking you, pro bono, look at these links. YouTube. I'm trying to build my YouTube subscribership. Help me out. Help me out. Help me out. I need your help. We all need each other's help as to why I'm here for many of you, as to why many of you are here for me. Check them all out. Donate link. My work is pro bono for now. Movies. Lots of stuff. Check it out. Link to my bestseller. So I'm going to take my time with talking about me, because I love me some me. I worked 8 diligent plus 10 plus years of connecting to something beyond everything. That link is in this forum. My heart and soul, musical heart and soul, is Lavender Soul, which so happens to look like this. It's the soundtrack to my bestseller. 25 plus, no, 30 years of my life went into the fashioning, the fabrication, the creation rather of this. Release date July 31st, 2020. I want to say thank you to me again, because the video card I just bought that I talked about, when I thought there was a 15-second lag, thinking it has to go through the internet so I could see you and what it looks like. This has truly changed to 5 seconds. So I'm somehow, on some level, stepped up my speed, my game. Me to you and you to me as a reflection. That was a true upgrade. Homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul. Remember the number 3,500. Every time you see Keith, if you want to do something for me, as I do things for you, just think 3,500. Keith made this post. Like it or not, just think 3,500. That's all you need to do. I'll tell you about that in a future presentation. Let me look. I want to share a beautiful idea. And that beautiful idea is people who come back over and over. And you don't have to come back over and over and me to share you as a beautiful idea. But these people, at least we're on the same time schedule. We connect. Some people go out of their way to look at my work. I always live my life out of my way to be into your grill, into your work. I get off on that shit. I do. Callan Ronaldo says, oh my God, she just stole my heart. I'm going to tell you why. Not because it's the 3,500 goal I'm trying to meet. It's because she stepped forward immediately. There are lots of people in the spiritual movement who follow divine teachers, and they're able to be in the physical proximity of such a master. And if the master says in his dialogue or discourse, I think the ashram needs this particular thing. He never intended or implied that someone needs to get up now. But some people are so devoted to their own expansion when the teacher says, I think we need to do this now, not or soon. We need to do this, period. That people get up in the moment of it and begin to pursue the bringing about of such things that someone they revere requested. Carolyn, you reminded me of that very thing as a spiritual lesson that has and still serves me and will forever serve me greatly, is that when something that means something important, it happens immediately. Thank you, Carolyn. Really. Hello, Anna Yoga, Carolyn, Lincoln. If I miss you, forgive me. Shasha had a birthday yesterday, day before. Ryan Craig, music. Lincoln, Pri. Becky, Debbie. I might be repeating some, but I'm just going through the gamut. Rena, Jason Doyle, Kelly Curtis, and Cinnamon. Got in there. Darnell, Heather. Let me go to the Sriyanava. Jack Brewer. Yak, what's up, bro? Ham sandwich. Dude, I love your posts. I really, really love what you're doing, dude. Let's connect soon. Karen Cox. Claudia. All right, so tonight we are talking, yes, it's a we. We are talking. It's not a me. It looks like a me, but it's a we. We are talking about, do you want to be happy? And if you are happy, congrats. If your level of happiness, as we create a base scale, is greater than mine, send me something. Tell me what you're doing to get to those levels of being happy. Teach me. Teach me something you know that I don't know. In fact, you know me more than I know you. I divulge vulnerability myself all the time. But if there's something I don't know about you, that you could have something potential for me. You found under a rock yesterday when you were jogging or walking into Walmart after Black Friday. I'm open. I am open. Not because I'm going to go challenge. I don't believe this person, so I'm going to go investigate. It's because I believe you and I want to invest to gate. Because I want what you saw. I want to feel what you're trying to convey to me, even in your poor attempt. But I can see that in your beautiful attempt, you tried to say, oh my God, Keith, check this out. Do you want to be happy? What does that mean? Keith, how can you possibly answer that question for me? Because I'm that good. I will explain. I'm looking at the room. All right, everybody's showing up. Welcome, everyone. Thank you. Athena. So, how could you possibly know, Keith? What does it for me? From the perspective of that question, possibly I can never know. So, that I asked the question on your behalf, I don't want to go there. I want you to follow me somewhere. Let's ask the question, the same question differently. So come with me as I lovingly take your hand to bring you into a greater degree of happiness. How do I know what it takes to be happy when you are not me and I am not you? You know what it is for you and I know what it is for me. I will tell you, there is a common thread that exists as the loving grace we know as universal eternal happiness. And it somewhat looks like this. This is how I know the answer. Because what brings me to a space of absolute happiness, one, when I glean it, it doesn't want to stop. I don't have to try to milk the divine teat. Oh my God, I need you, teat, 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 squeeze, squeeze, like I'm trying to create vegan milk or goat milk. It's not what it looks like. It tells me what it wants to look like. So happiness is not about, I love you beyond measure. Listen to me. Happiness is not about a seeking in or eking out of things. That's not happiness. You're missing the mark and you're peeing in the fan. Okay? There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. That sounds like semantics, Keith. Good. Semantics are good. There's a symmetry, an understanding, an unspoken language in semantics. You're just playing off of words. Key word here is play. Playing off of words. I'm willing to play and discard theory. My ultimate goal is happiness. If I believe in Jesus and the Bible, this or that, Buddha or Krishna, ice cream and candy, doesn't matter. Whatever it is you're doing, everyone is seeking happiness. And there are 7.7 billion people on this earth. Ish, give or take, for goodness sake. Everyone finds God differently, defines God differently. There are 7.7 billion religions, belief systems on this planet. You don't have to like that, but you can never paint your way out of that corner. So what is ultimate happiness? If my way is only my way and it brings me to happiness, then that's the way. The way to happiness is never about self-detriment. You will never be happy when you kick your own ass. Robert Tennyson Stevens, a friend of mine, guest on Center of Light Radio many times, says, any thought that is not of the highest ideal contains self-sabotage. So that means we have this much work to do to become a happy, peaceful, blissful individual. So when I use the word tonight, happiness, sounds good. Keith, I love it. Can you give me happiness? Let me tell you something. Let me share with you a holiday gift. Merry Christmas, because I love you. Keith, if you can hand me happiness right now, I would love you forever. All right. So I'm going to hand you happiness. And I'm going to offer it to you. And you're going to take it. And you're going to say thank you. That is not the end of the game. There's something that lies beyond happiness. And it's called joy. So you see, you're not done yet. Even though you're willing to accept happiness and go, oh my God, if I can only get there, I'm living my heaven on earth. And if that's all you can get, then congratulations. Many people can never get to there. So beyond happiness is joy. Happiness can be very fleeting. It can be very interval. It can be, I'm happy. Tonight I'm happy. I had a great day today. My work, I got off, it's Friday, got a good paycheck. Whatever, I'm happy. Whenever I use happiness, you will know by the inflection in my voice, how much I lean into the camera, how passionate. You'll know exactly what I'm saying. It's beyond the words. So we have happiness, we have joy. And then we have something else called bliss. That's slowly starting to come into your field. Your energy, God field, by the way you feel in God. Oh my God, when you begin to feel that, you will be happy eternally. Are you willing to be happy? Or are you willing to be wrong to be happy? Because in your willingness to be wrong to be happy is what rights you. It's what balances you. Look, I can be an arrogant person myself. But when I am leveled in something that has given me great experiences, I'm always open to new ideas and to shatter the illusion of what I call great experiences. I want my great experience illusions to be shattered so I can experience greater ideas. Happiness is tonight's presentation. Do you want to be happy? I'm going to go through a gamut of why one would not be happy. At least what's keeping them from greater possibilities of happiness. So I guess I need to create a baseline. I guess I need to be honest with you. It's about time, isn't it? What makes me so happy as to why I can offer this to you? That's a very honest, powerful, beautiful question I should have asked a long time ago. Or said from this whatever perspective a long time ago. I'm just happy. I have no complaints. I have my bitches. I have my moanings and my groanings. It's very temporary. Very short. It's just a vent. And I truly, intentionally, when I find myself going unconscious because I want to grumble and mumble, as I'm going into it, I take myself to a space of responsible consciousness to say, okay, this is happening. So I'm going to be there presently. And if I'm going to mumble and grumble, it's not going to be unconscious. I'm going to mumble and grumble and really mean it. And I'm going to play the game. The game of life, Milton Bradley. I'm going to play the game of life. And I'm going to mumble and I'm going to grumble. And if I win the game, I love it. And if I lose the game, I love it. But when I'm done playing the game, I'm done. I'm done. Simply just done. I'm going to take a short pause. When I come back, we're going to get into deeper levels of happiness. And as I was trying to explain just a moment ago, when I speak about happiness, I don't mean just being happy. Bless you, brother Jesus. Bless you. Hercules, Hercules. No, I'm talking about deeper levels of happiness. The reason I use happiness instead of bliss or ecstasy or nirvana or any of those words is most people don't understand simply happiness. So to use words like bliss and joy and ecstasy and this and that and God realization and Christ principle, they're trying to grasp happiness. So whatever you can reach through the vehicle of the word I will utter as happiness, take it beyond what I'm offering. Take it to a level that you know where you are, what you deserve, your conscious experience, and then be willing to toss that into the fire of worship as nonsense. I am handing you a golden key to happiness. Be willing to take everything that you think is the absolute end all of bliss, ecstasy, nirvana, joy, peace, and be willing to say to yourself, this has to be nonsense. Because the infinite creator I call my divine parent, this pales in comparison. Do you see where I'm going? I'm going to a very much deeper level than superficial. I have a boyfriend or girlfriend and I'm happy, and when they leave, I'm sad. I'm going deep into the rabbit hole of divinity. So the idea is, when you come up and even in your greatest, best day of meditation, to solidify, identify what you think happiness is, whatever that is, depending on your state of consciousness, pales in comparison to what true happiness, bliss, joy, ecstasy really is. And so, before the lavender soul break, what makes me an expert in this field? I've learned to dance. I'm still aspiring, ever hiring, and I'm acquiring all the information I can possibly achieve. And I'm aligning, like many of us, with forces beyond understanding. And simply, happiness becomes placed within you. And every day, you just feel a little happier. And it requires a fire. You just have to be on fire. Happiness has no way to it. Happiness is the way to everything. Seriously, it's it. So Keith, how do I do that? You wake up happy for no reason. Well, what does that mean? Exactly. To the level you've asked, well, what does that mean? Exactly. And the more you explore that question, what is true happiness? Just ask God. You don't have to believe in God. You can ask yourself, what is true happiness? And yourself, that is your soul, that is the bridge between heaven and earth, the prophecy of heaven and earth, that is connected to your infinite father, mother, parent, that always hears you speak. There's nothing you can say or do that they won't ever hear. So you're being responded to. It's called meditation. Prayer is speaking. Meditation is listening. So if you want to be happy, you have to learn, or rather unlearn certain things, but learn in a very simple way. It's not difficult. What is happiness? If you are trying to be happy, not only have you missed the mark, you need to turn your head around and look completely in the opposite direction, because you passed it a long time ago. Happiness is not this just came into me. Happiness is not a verb. Happiness is presence. Just being with yourself. That's it. Happiness is not a future occurrence. It's not a verb. It's not a doing of a something. It's a something that you are. Simply. Happiness. Are you happy? Ask yourself. In this moment, with me in front of you, looking you dead square in your eyes. Look at me. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Don't turn away from me. I'm not really looking at you, but yet I am. I'm looking at your heart. Are you happy? Ask yourself a very simple question. Am I happy? No judgment. Don't even judge yourself. Am I happy? In every sense of the word, am I happy? Yes, but. That yes, but is God telling you, you have work to do in this yes, but arena. And until you do the work in the yes, but arena, well, I'm happy with this, but only if. Only if. If was a skiff, we'd all take a ride. The only if is God. People say God has not spoken to anyone since Jesus and the other prophets 2,000 plus years ago. Horseshit. If you ask yourself, God is always present. God is omnipresent. This profound, beautiful, serious, sincere, passionate question. The answer comes through. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the question, am I happy? And if the voice says, only if, God is saying, I'm telling you, as soon as you ask the question in my omnipresence, I am mirroring to you my infinite love. The only if belongs to you. And don't try to paint that on me. I am not the devil. I am your unconditionally loving creator. And the whole universe that you thought was tangible, palpable, and real shatters before your eyes. Right? Am I happy? Only if I would get a divorce. Get your goddamn divorce. Only if I would quit my job. Quit your job. Only if I would do this thing that I have not been doing and I've been promising myself. Take some money out of your savings and go do it. If you don't do it now, you will do it in another life. Why would anyone ever prolong their happiness? This life, past life, next life. Simply in the present moment. Do you feel you have to always be so happy in your unhappiness to please other people to make them happy? You are a slave, Neo. Happiness is not a destination. Your destination is happiness. Stick around. Be right back. Center of Light. Tonight we're speaking about happiness. Spread this everywhere. 2020 is going to be a powerful year for all of us. I will be here consistently giving you teachings through me. I will receive teachings through you. Collectively, we become a mighty powerful force. Be right back. I'm going to take this time to play a video from Sadhguru. I hope this is strange. I may stop it. Let's see if this is the right video. About happiness. Give me a moment. I got to do some shuffling. Welcome everyone to Center of Light Radio. Keith Anthony Blanchard here. Speaking about, are you happy? What are you willing to do to be happy? Simply.
Access granted.
Uh-huh.
Check that one out. He said,
Uh-huh.
do you want the aha?
Uh-huh.
Clarion call. Do you want to be happy? Welcome to Center of Light Bliss. Blessed are we, the beautiful man you saw in all his divine grace. God bless you. You have been blessed by God. Because when God takes form, it looks just exactly what you just saw. You just saw God in the form of a human being coming from such an amazing pillar of light, divulge his love, infinite, eternal love for you, to say, I have come again to give you love nuggets beyond measure. All for your pleasure, happiness. Do you want to be happy? Or do you want to be right? Happiness. What is happiness? Let me tell you what happiness is. And I don't mean just happiness. Giddy, giddy, giddy. That's cute. That's beautiful happiness. I'm talking about a different level, a different happiness. Some people call it nirvana. Some call it ecstasy. Some call it joy, infinite joy. Some call it God's divine grace. Some call it bliss. We're all seeking that. The reason you wanted that ice cream the other day, because you want happiness. You want to feel, experience tangibly that happiness, do you not? Is that why you ate the ice cream? Its allure was tempting the devil. Because you even hear people who are trying to lose weight. It's the devil, because my calories, the devil is tempting me. I shouldn't have done that. I feel so bad. I want to say hello to everyone. I want to say this as a reminder for me, a landmark. I want to create a marker. But I want to get to your questions. So the question, I'm gonna pose something. And here comes a list of things I should create the positives versus the negatives. But I want to use the negatives. And in this regard, they become the positives. Because it will mirror, reflect, tickle us, remind us of exactly how we treat ourselves. So I'm going to say one. The negatives. Then I'm going to get to your questions. I see Carmen Shasha, Lincoln of the Light, all these beautiful, loving tribe members of letting me being in your experience in your world. I love, and everyone in this room will say, I love you all equally. I respond to you all equally. I love it. I feel the power. You got to use the force, Lou. And I feel it in that connectivity. You will never be happy when you judge yourself. Tonight's presentation is Center of Light Bliss. Do you want to be happy? Well, I'm a happy person. If you call yourself a happy person and you're judging yourself, then you're not completely happy. You can never be happy when you judge you, what you do, what you are, what you think you are. You can never be happy. Nor can you ever be happy when you judge anyone else who sins differently than you. But mine is justified. They will tell you the same thing. And in that arrogance, you will never be happy. Okay? So I want to say hello to everyone in the room. Lincoln Mount, bro. Cindy Elwood. What's up, Elwood? Anna, Carmen Shasha. Let me see who's here. First, I want to acknowledge everyone who's here. And this way, Kelly, Rena, Lincoln, Sana, Elwood, Anna, Debbie, Shelton, Pri. I hope Carmen Shasha is still here. Carmen, if you are here, would you send me an exclamation point? Carolyn says, I gotta be me. Lincoln says, of course I want to be happy, but why did I pause to think about the answer? See, bro, you've already solved your own quandary. In the want to find that thing lies the thing which is no thing. So this is what I wanted to say before I got sidetracked. If you've answered your riddle, I'm happy, you're not there yet. Well, Keith, aren't you speaking about my happiness? And if I declare to you I'm happy, is that not what this is about? You're not there yet. Because if you think you've ended your searching, that you've resolved, you're not there. Carmen says I'm here. You're not there yet. How do I? Well, Keith, how would you know if I'm not there yet? Because if you ended your search as a droplet in the divine ocean, which is infinite, you're not there yet. You can never be there yet. No one could ever be there yet. And the way you get there, yet, is by realizing that the sea of infinity, of happiness that you deserve and by birthright due, is beyond what you can imagine. So all these ideas that we think it takes for us to be happy, a partner, a good sexual partner, someone who pays me attention all the time, I eat the foods, I have the money, all this and that. And I ain't preaching to the choir, mind you. What even just the very next level of happiness disintegrates all those ideas. So happiness, joyfulness, blissfulness, gracefulness, ecstasy, nirvana, as Sadhguru said, if you were here for the presentation, this is what you deserve. This is what true happiness, and I don't mean superficial happiness. It's a word most people understand, happiness. I just want to be happy. I want to be happy beyond that level of happiness. So Sadhguru even said that enlightenment will get boring. You will want something beyond that. How can you want something beyond enlightenment? Enlightenment implies the all of it, the big bang of it. That is not enough. There's more. There's always more. My friend Steve Lancaster always tells me, if you think there's something more, then there has to be something more. Right? So happiness belongs to you. You will never be happy if you expect someone in your proximity to make you that way, or someone to leave your proximity so you can go back to feeling that way. That is not what happiness is. Happiness is for no reason. So let me look at these questions in these comments, as I said I would. The Shasha. I'm scanning everything so quickly. I've trained myself. I could just look at a scroll and get the gist. Carmen says, I meditate regularly. I keep positive people around me. I push. That word stuck out for some whatever reason. Carmen de Shasha. I push. I actually emphasize that for whatever reasons that means to you. I push myself to achieve enrichment in my life. Self-love. Stay away from negative energy. Stay busy. Give my time to my chosen charities. I love it all, Carmen. Carmen, because I love you, I know you were choosing words to explain something. We need to talk about it. Not that you're broken. You get me, you understand me. Stay away from negative energies. I stay away from negative energies too. I stay away from negative energies. Carmen, I don't. Stay away from negative energies. It doesn't make me better. It's just about happiness, and I want that for you on every possible level. And I'm not saying you don't feel this way. So basically, I'm using, quote, Carmen as the example for those who may not understand this way of thinking, being, expressing devotion. I just stay away from negative energies. Versus, I stay away from negative energies. So Carmen, that was not implied to you at all. Thank you for letting me be that for everyone else. I love that you give to charities. Having my little dog on my lap. Debbie says that makes me happy. How beautiful is that? How simple is that? And in that simple idea is everything. That's lovely. Lincoln says, just missing somebody to share that happiness with. Bro, I get it. Again, Lincoln, I get it. We can be dogs. Hey, Keith, I'm missing that someone. I get that. As much as I get that as your dog, the truth will never slant, bro. Well, Keith, this is about you and I having dialogue. Well, yeah, it is, and we are. But this presentation is not about that. It's about being happy. Do you, Lincoln, want to be happy? And if you do, then it's beyond you and I having a tequila and a beer at a bar over some hot wings or nachos. It's about you taking the initiative in the not missing. Of course, you already know that. I know how metaphysical and spiritual you are, dude. You are, dude. But I was just calling you out on purpose as a gentle reminder. Okay? Hi, Vicky. Vicky says, I am happy when I am not around negative people complaining. Totally get that. I am happy when I am alone and around people who are positive. Carmen says, let me say that again. Carm de Chacha. That's from France. Cogon. Grey Poupon Patifkos. She says, ask, what about when happiness gets sucked out of you? I get it. By others over and over again. It's the same thing, sweetheart. Trust me, I understand what you are conveying. But in that conveyance, there is what we call a tell. And you are telling me and everyone something. No judgment. We love you. It's not getting sucked out of you. You're the one turning on the vacuum cleaner because you're allowing things to get sucked out of you. It does not nullify other people's bad behavior that have responsibility that you can't separate from because there are family ties. Because if you have family ties, it's forever, at least in this life. But the sucking of the vacuum in the vampire only is because we're sticking, here's a great analogy, is because we're sticking our neck out there for it to be bit by said vampires. That's not what's happening. We like to paint that. Here's our next divine principle, law of happiness. You can never be a victim. You can never be a victim. Never be a victim. Hello, Karen. You can never be a victim. In assuming that someone did any of something, no matter of any of us, to whatever level something can be so horrible, no one's a victim. Hello, Trudy. Lincoln says, you took my comment out of order, Keith. Well, explain it to me, sir. I don't mind being out of context and being mistaken for it. Please explain that to me, because I do want to take you in context because you are important to me. He says, you took my comment out of order. Please share that with me, brother. Please. Lincoln says, I find it interesting and wonder if anyone else paused before answering the question. Please share with me, brother. Carmen, see, most people wouldn't respond to that when they got their little happiness pants kick. I say this in the right way. My point of dressing up that way because I want to acknowledge Carmen. She says, that's true, Keith. Thank you. In her acknowledging that it's true, Keith, thank you, she's not saying, Keith, thank you. And my responding to that is not, well, congratulations as your teacher, I got something across to you. She's acknowledging for herself that she saw another tear that was patiently awaiting her. That's it. Happiness. Lincoln says, you took the words right out of my mouth. Hi, Trudy. Lincoln said, my perspective changed after a few minutes of listening. Good, brother. And I am always open for suggestion. Happiness. What is happiness? If you judge other people, you're not happy. As a rule, if you follow politics so much so you're in the who gets the last piece of bacon, you are not happy. Hello, Roxanne. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. If you lost your job and you boogered beyond a week, you're not happy. If you think your religion is the only way, you are not happy. If you think you have found happiness in every sense of the word, from the superficial layer of happiness all the way to bliss, ecstasy, and nirvana, if you think you found it, you are not happy to the fullest extent. So from the divine principle, Spirit says, the law of detachment, to find fulfillment in the indwelling God, all idol worship must be abandoned. Being attached to the external world does not work, because when its temporal things are no longer a part of your life, your happiness most assuredly leaves with them. So, Roxanne says, thank you for singing. You're welcome. So when your happiness becomes a noun, how you like that? When your happiness becomes a noun, you have lost sight of the profound that is forever morphing, expanding, changing into another expression. When you get attached to an expression of Creator, because no matter what you are doing, ice cream cone, you're searching for the right ice cream cone, the right pizza, the right sexual love interest partner, the right job. God is always expressing itself differently. The only thing that will never change is change itself. And as long as you're trying to find God in a something other than that which is everything, which is all contained within yourself, you will forever be searching for happiness. The rabbit hole doesn't end, but it can all end for you when you see yourself as simply happy. You wake up in the morning, you plant your feet on the floor, and you say, Dear Lord, thank you for just, you can call that Lord whatever you want. This doesn't have to have an identity. It could be that which represents all goodness. And you're sincere about that. I am so sincere about being under the umbrella and the guiding influence of all that is goodness and happiness. That's called God. Jesus, that's called God. Krishna, that's called God. Being kind to people, that's called God. And the more different ways you incorporate what God is called and ordained into your experience, the greater your happiness experience happens to you. Humility, that's called God. Happiness. Being of service, that's called God. That's called happiness. Giving. Forgiving. Giving for of something to someone. Someone you don't like. I still have my own issues surrounding some people that booger and bother me. I get it. You can never be happy if you expect someone else to make you happy. I'm not saying that if you lost someone in relationship or in the crossing over of, there's not this grief period. But if every Christmas, many years after, or you feel regret for the holidays or the birthday or the anniversary of a something, and it brings you into grief and pain, you can never be happy because you're holding yourself in contempt. In the court of the highest order, that has your highest order out of the chaos in mind. Do you truly want to be happy? Or do you want to be right? If you piss and vinegar matching with someone on Facebook about politics, you will never be happy. How do you feel in your argument with someone? There's no happiness juice flowing through your body. I'm learning this. I'm learning to be happy. Simply. It's just simply. It's integrating. It has integrated. And I'm moving now into deeper degrees of happiness, which I've said earlier, to create a scale. I'm moving into greater degrees of joy. And oh my God, if I have a Bliss sandwich coming to me really soon, I don't know what can happen to a human being. And on the outset of that would be ecstasy, nirvana. And it doesn't end there, not only for me, but for everyone. Do you want to be happy? But you don't understand. You've already lost sight. In fact, you can't get back fast enough to understand the sight you lost of. So what is ultimate happiness? It's being okay, sitting by yourself on a desert island for eternity. Do you have the courage, the tenacity, the want, and the desire to live in the fire of happiness for eternity? That is the path to God. There is no other path. There is no other path. I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm not sorry. That's just an expression. That's it. That's why monks, Buddhist monks, Hindu monks go into caves, monasteries to meditate for eternity. They're only interested in one thing. And the one thing they are interested in is the no thing, which inherent is everything. That's ultimate happiness. But if we can settle for being happy on this earth right now, for the times we're living in, through all the chaos, what is happiness? Have you ever asked yourself, am I happy? In silence, am I happy? God loves you so much. In the asking of yourself, am I happy? Immediately. Try it now. I will disappear in a second and come back with the final segment. And when I disappear and play some music, just go away, just close your eye and say, am I happy? And God will speak to you immediately. And it's going to sound something like this. Possibly. Only if. You just ask God a direct question. Am I truly happy? And he says, only if. And he's not telling you you will be happy only if you get this thing you want. The only if is God, higher source, purpose, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, revealing to you how you think about yourself. Because it doesn't require anything from you. It sits there patiently, happily, waiting for you to join it in its program. Welcome to the Center of Light. I'm going to be right back. What am I looking for? Lavender Soul. What am I looking for? A beautiful, powerful question in it. What am I looking for? Ask that in meditation. What am I looking for? Let's fast forward now. Realize that after you ask, what am I looking for, and you have some sort of revelation, your happiness goes beyond that. So what you are looking for is no longer, what am I looking for? looking for a something is implying I'm trying to be happy. It's a beautiful question, and it will bring about a powerful result from the universe. But when you get to the space that I'm no longer looking for anything, there's nothing that could possibly take me from my divine space of being with my divine parent.
What am I looking for? A golden key to a golden door. What's behind it that I need more than what I have? I'm just not sure. What am I searching for? The mothership to a distant shore. Could this journey make me more of who I am? I'm just not sure.
Where do you go to find the answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside?
What am I hoping for? A better world, is there a cure? What can I do to help the score? I'm at a loss, I'm just not sure. What am I praying for? To see the light around the world and the people's love restored. Peace on earth, of this I'm sure.
Where do you go to find your answers? There is a place you haven't tried. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside? try. Your search for love is taking chances. Have you ever thought to look inside? You hold the key to find your answers. I am the door you have not tried. Never again taking chances. Open your heart and walk inside. Walk inside.
Welcome back to Sin of Light. I'm eating some really crazy good stuff. This is not the container it came in. But I'm eating this trail mix of almonds, peanuts, cashews, and M&Ms. I can't stop eating it. I'm taking my happiness. Welcome to Sin of Light, everybody. Keith Anthony Blanchard here. Yanava. Happy holidays. Kwanzaa. Whatever it is that floats your boat. Just be happy. Yeah, but I'm alone. Good. I'm glad you're alone. I'm glad you're by yourself. Enjoy your by yourselfness. Because in truth, in this moment, by yourselfness is all you got. But really, what all you got in your by yourselfness, the final question of everything as to why you were born for thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes is, are you happy? When people live on earth, whatever doctrine you follow, if you believe in sin and God's grace is won through good behavior, ask you a question. Are you happy? It applies to everybody. Are you happy? Smile. You can't feel bad in your body when you smile. Try it. Try to feel bad about someone when you smile. It becomes an effort. It becomes awkward. You can't do it. Are you happy? Ask yourself in meditation. Dear God, God, I know you're omnipresent, so that means you're with me. In fact, without you, I couldn't even ask you the question, are you with me, if you are not with me? Because that would imply that I don't need you. I'm the it of it all, which has no humility in it whatsoever. Right? You see, you're already in the game. Let me tell you how connected to God you are. It doesn't require anything. God breathed man into life. God is breath. Breath is life. God is life. If that's the case, by default, before Jesus ever came into the picture, this is not discounting nor discrediting the beautiful, amazing, sacred life of Jesus Christ. So don't take me out of context. It's your issue, not mine. Merry Christmas. By default, if God is the sustainer of life via breath in man, every breath I take is God moving in and out of my body. And it's required of me to become happy, to be so conscious that with every breath I take, I'm grateful. And I get out of being hateful in every regard of my life, even towards my own self. That's called happiness. Do you want to be happy? Check this out. The presentation tonight is titled, Do You Want to Be Happy? The last two words are, be happy. But do you choose to be that? Wow, there's like an entire industrial revolution around my house right now. Trucks are moving, trains are loading. So do you want to be happy? But I'm waiting. You will never get there. You will never get there. Just wake up, be happy. It may require some work. It may. But it doesn't have to. It does not have to. Do you want to be happy? I understand you may have lost someone sometime back this holiday season. It hurts. Now what? Now that you remember them in grief, do you want to be happy to allow yourself, good grief, to think of them celebratory the times you did have them for the holiday season? Are you willing to be happy? Or are you going to sulk? I just can't be happy knowing my loved one left. And if you continue to follow that model, you will never be happy. I don't write the laws. I try to break some of the rules even. Do you want to be happy? Because eternal happiness has been looking for you. God bless you. Happy holidays. Be good to yourself and each other, my sister and brother. As I sign off with you tonight, gonna hang out with my beautiful son, eat some good grub, watch a killer movie. Elwood says, I am happy. Everything else is an experience. Anna says, great presentation. And I've been watching you. My life is just a little busier than yours at certain times of the day. But I'm coming around, sweetie. I love you. Blessings, everyone. Trudy, Carmen, Jeff Bowers, Kelly, the like. I'll see you soon. You love beyond measure.